Have any of you ever experienced feelings of terror or fear? What about severe anxiousness or worry? I'm guessing everyone in this room can resonate with that question. Have you ever thought to yourself after the fear subsided, well, I guess I had nothing to worry about after all. Come to think of it, nothing very serious actually came out of all that struggle that I just went through. For how heavy that situation seemed to me at the time, it sure doesn't seem to be affecting me now. What was I actually running from? You know, you could probably pay someone $200 an hour to diagnose and treat your fear. But before you do that, I'd like you to consider the counsel that is offered freely to you through Christ. You see, Jesus exhorted his disciples about their sinful worry when he said to them, "Do not let your heart be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me." His disciples were very anxious because Jesus had just revealed to them that he was going to be leaving them soon and that they could not come with him right at that moment. So you see, there actually were very good reasons for the disciples to be troubled. And there are probably very good reasons for you to be troubled today. I'm not trying at all to say that your problems are trivial or that your trials are not real. But I am trying to show you that while there are reasons for your heart to be troubled, there are even greater reasons for not letting your hearts be troubled. If you've read John's account of the gospel closely, you might be saying to yourself right about now, how can Jesus tell his disciples not to be troubled when about 5 minutes before this, in chapter 13, verse 21, it says that Jesus himself became troubled in spirit? And John is using the same word here that he just used in 14:1. Jesus' heart was troubled like the disciples' hearts were troubled. But you see, I don't think this is Jesus being hypocritical at all. I think this is getting to the heart of the gospel. That is, because Jesus was troubled, his disciples do not have to be. They can choose not to be based on the truth. Because Jesus was troubled as he considered the burden he would bear for you. Now you don't have to bear that burden. You don't have to be troubled. So when Jesus simply says, "Don't let your hearts be troubled," you might also be thinking, isn't his counsel on the top of the list for the ways that we're taught not to counsel? Isn't that the first rule of the Christian counselor's handbook for things not to say? I mean, after all, these guys were troubled for good reasons. And if troubled people could relieve themselves of their troubles, obviously they would. So was Jesus a weak counselor? Was he an insensitive counselor? Never. Never. He was a master counselor. He is the wonderful counselor. Remember today that there will be times in our lives that feel like things are falling apart, like our life's in pieces. You'll feel overwhelmed, and you won't have any control over the situation or the circumstance. Just like the disciples experienced time and time again. And yet, it's possible to have a godly poise in these situations. It's genuinely possible to have an untroubled heart in these circumstances. The reason you have a troubled heart is because in those circumstances that you're facing, the ones that really seem like you're caught in a storm, like the waves are lashing you in the face and you're freezing and the ship is sinking, you think that what is threatening you is bigger and stronger than the resources that are in the boat with you. Is Jesus unkind when he asked the drowning men before him why they're so afraid? He's not being unkind. He's jarring them back to reality. They had the resource in the boat with them that could control the wind and the waves. Let me put it to you another way. When you get on a commercial jet plane with literally tons of luggage and hundreds of passengers, why are you not afraid of how the plane plans to take off? Is it because you think the plane will defy the laws of gravity? Will the plane suddenly become lighter than air? Of course not. There are simply new laws being brought into operation. When lift and thrust overcome weight and drag, the laws of aerodynamics go into effect. And that's how it is for Christians in a sense. Just because we're Christians, it doesn't mean that we're immune from the weight of horrific trials. deep sorrow, and perplexing tragedies. And we're certainly, I think you'd agree, not immune from the daily grind. The point of Jesus' exhortation is that there's another law at work in us now. You see, you have the resources you need to be more than a conqueror. Not because you conquered anything, but because the captain of the ship loved you. Nothing will separate you from him. If we place ourselves back in the context of where we started just a couple minutes ago, that is John 14, 1 through 3, maybe we can see the magnificence of Jesus' logic in his counsel. He's saying, look, I'm leaving you now. I'm going to prepare a place for you. And then I'm going to come back and take you all home with me. Jesus was troubled so that we wouldn't have to be. He's about to take on the sin of the world, and he's more concerned about the distress of the sheep than he is for himself. Is that how you are? Is that how you act when you're worried and anxious? Are you so full of fear because you're thinking about how to love those under your care? Are you so full of fear because of how much you love God's plan? Or are you focused on yourself? Is there a chance that you're focused on what you don't have, or what you really, really want that you don't have? Or maybe you're focused on what you're getting that you really, really didn't want. Confess your sinful worries and fears today. Remember that if Jesus is preparing a place for you now, and he's coming back for you, he's coming back, then you can rest assured that he will keep you until that day. Nothing will pluck you from his hand. Jesus wasn't troubled so that you'd be left with the spirit of fear. Our Lord Jesus Christ has caused us to be born again to a living hope through the resurrection from the dead, to an inheritance that is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading. It's kept in heaven for you by him, who by God's power are being guarded through faith for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Though you have not seen him, you love him. Though you do not now see him, you believe in him and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible and filled with glory, obtaining the outcome of your faith, the salvation of your souls.